Candidates for degrees, families and friends, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 100th commencement of the University of Connecticut School of Law. And to all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. My name is Paul Chill. I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs at the Law School and a longtime member of the faculty. It's my privilege to serve as Chief Marshal today. My job is to ensure that we have a memorable, enjoyable, and last but not least, orderly ceremony. In a moment, I will have several housekeeping announcements to that end. But first, on this beautiful day in the West End of Hartford, I want to acknowledge the less sunny circumstances that marked the beginning of today's graduates' law school matriculation. Those of you in the evening division who will receive your JD degree, subject, of course, to the timely completion of all academic requirements, could scarcely have imagined that your first year of law school, let alone your very lives and those of your families and friends, would be disrupted and dominated by an unfolding global tragedy of historical dimension. Those of you in the day division were forced to navigate the notoriously difficult first year of law school entirely online. And those of you who will receive your LLM degree today, including the many who hail from abroad, also have been impacted by the pandemic in myriad and untold ways. All of you have overcome truly unprecedented challenges on the road to this day. And so, UConn Law Class of 2023, I salute you. Now for those housekeeping announcements. First, live captions of the ceremony and the fully electronic commencement program are available online via the QR codes posted around the tent. Second, per order of the State Fire Marshal, I ask that you remain at your seat and clear of the aisles throughout the ceremony. We will have professionals taking photos and videos of all the graduates as they process across the stage, and again at the side of the tent, where a formal portrait will be taken. So again, please remain at your seat. Third, we have a designated smoking area to the rear of the tent, and we ask that you use that area if needed. Finally, please take a moment now to silence your cell phone and any other electronic device capable of abruptly signaling its owner's carelessness in the midst of the ceremony. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Will the class of 2023 vocalist, Lily Mujarelli, please come to the podium? Will the audience please rise and join in singing the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet
Will the audience please be seated? We are graced by the presence of many distinguished guests this morning. I would like to introduce and welcome those seated with me on the platform. In the back row, from your left, are Ms. Linda Morkin, class of 1987, President of the University of Connecticut Law School Alumni Association. Mr. Thomas D. Ritter, class of 1977, a member of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. Ms. Marilda Gandara, class of 1978, a member of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. Dr. Sanford Cloud, Jr., a member of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees and chair of the UConn Health Board of Directors. Mr. Joshua Crow, class of 2024, a student member of the University of Connecticut Board of Trustees. And Mr. Robert L. Birmingham, professor of law and mace bearer. In the front row, from your left, Ms. Jessica Rubin, Associate Dean for Experiential Education, Clinical Professor of Law, and Law Marshal. Dr. Gladys Kersant, Vice President of the University of Connecticut, Vice Provost of the University of Connecticut. Ms. Ebony S. Nelson, Dean of the University of Connecticut School of Law. Ms. Leslie C. Levin, Hugh McGill Professor of Law, and Ms. Deborah Archer, Associate Dean for Experiential Education and Clinical Programs at the New York University School of Law and President of the American Civil Liberties Union. It is now my honor to invite Dean Nelson to the podium for opening remarks.
Thank you, Dean Chill. Members of the Board of Trustees, Vice Provost Kersant, Dean Archer, members of the judiciary, family members and friends watching from around the globe, on behalf of our students, staff, faculty, and alumni, it is my great honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 100th commencement of the University of Connecticut School of Law. And to all the mothers and mother figures among us, I also wish you a happy Mother's Day. I extend a heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2023, and a special welcome to 3 graduates of our Executive LLM in U.S. Law program in South Korea, who made quite a journey to be with us today. Welcome to you all. This is a momentous occasion as we celebrate the completion of your law degree program, and I'm so happy to be with you today on our beautiful campus with the most gorgeous day for this special occasion. It is a day for celebration, not only for you graduates, but also for your parents, siblings, family members, spouses, partners, and friends. Please join me in thanking and applauding them for the support and encouragement they have provided to help you arrive at this moment. We also greatly appreciate our dedicated staff and faculty who have educated, guided, assisted, and encouraged you throughout your law school journey. They have all invested in you, your success, and in the success of this wonderful law school. So please join me in thanking our incredible faculty and staff. I stand here in awe of each of you as I think about the fortitude you have demonstrated and all that you have accomplished during your law school career. You have encountered many obstacles while on your journey to achieve your degree. Some Dean Chill has already articulated. But perhaps it was self-doubt, as little seemed to click in your first or maybe your last semester of law school. Or maybe it was a hearing that didn't go your client's way. For some, it may have been the culture shock of studying law in a new country or in a new language. Despite the obstacles, you overcame them all and accomplished great things along the way. Since entering UConn Law, your class has helped countless members of our community, both inside and outside our institution. You have served as admissions ambassadors to help encourage prospective students to attend our great law school. You have helped asylum seekers avoid persecution, abuse, and torture. You have advocated for the protection of children, veterans, animals, the environment, and tenants facing eviction. You have edited and published journal articles that have informed our thinking on some of the most pressing legal issues of our day. You have honed your advocacy and dispute resolution skills while raising the school's profile by your outstanding performance on moot court, mock trial, and negotiation teams. You have organized conferences and symposia exploring important issues, including parental rights, climate change, criminal justice, and environmental justice. You have arranged and participated in a multitude of public service projects to assist some of the most marginalized members of our society. You helped formerly incarcerated people apply for pardons that expunged their records and expanded their opportunities for a better life. You have spent hundreds of hours volunteering with community organizations, mentoring local middle and high school students, and inspiring them to believe that one day they will sit where you're sitting today as graduates of law school. You have raised tens of thousands of dollars to support student organizations and public interest fellowships. And your leadership in student organizations has helped to bring our community together and to raise our consciousness about the importance of diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging here at UConn Law and beyond. Many of you started your studies in the midst of a global pandemic. Others of you had your first year abruptly interrupted by a sudden shift to virtual learning. Yet you managed to excel while working full or part-time, taking care of children and loved ones, and supporting each other every single step of the way. These accomplishments and acts of service demonstrate your commitment to being part of a profession that at its core is about serving others in the pursuit of justice. And with the challenges facing our country and world today, the legal profession needs you more now than ever. With the knowledge and skills that you have acquired during law school, you are well prepared to solve the most difficult and complex problems of our time. You will be the voice for those whose voices have been silenced, ignored, or discounted. As you take on this challenge, you will advance the fulfillment of our country's promise that everyone is afforded equal protection of the laws. As all of you work to preserve the rule of law and to protect human and civil rights both within and outside our borders, I ask that you remember that the law can be both a helpmate and a hindrance in those endeavors. It can be both a tool to advance justice and a tool to thwart it, a tool to dismantle systemic oppression, and a tool to maintain it. So I ask that you use this invaluable tool wisely. The expectations that we have for each of you are quite high, and you may be wondering, am I ready? Can I really do this? Rest assured that the answer to both of these questions is a resounding yes. You are ready and you will succeed. This is what you have been trained to do, and in many ways, this is what you have already been doing during your time in law school. So be confident in the knowledge and abilities that you have developed during your law school career, and carry that confidence with you into the courtrooms as advocates and judges, into the worlds of business and government as counselors and policymakers, and to the front lines of the endless yet endlessly rewarding battle for a more just and equitable world. As you embark on and further your legal careers, always remember that you are not only advocates for justice, but also guardians of justice. So please guard it well. Thank you for choosing UConn Law to pursue your legal studies. It has been an honor to have each of you as part of our community, and I cannot thank you enough for all the ways you have enriched it. Congratulations, class of 2023. We look forward to seeing the great contributions you will make in the years ahead. Thank you. It is now my honor and privilege to introduce our featured speaker, Dean Deborah N. Archer, President of the American Civil Liberties Union and Associate Dean for Experiential Education and Clinical Programs at the New York University School of Law, where she also serves as co-director of Clinical and Advocacy Programs, Professor of Clinical Law, and co-faculty director of the Center on Race, Inequality, and the Law. Born and raised here in our wonderful state of Connecticut, Dean Archer is a graduate of Smith College and earned her JD degree from Yale Law School. Following law school, she clerked for Judge Alvin Thompson of the United States District Court for the District of Connecticut. She has worked as an attorney with the ACLU and the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, and served as chair of the New York City Civilian Complaint Review Board. Dean Archer is one of the leading civil rights leaders of our time, an award-winning teacher and scholar, and an expert in civil liberties and racial justice. In 2021, she became the first person of color to lead the ACLU as president in its 101-year history, and it is truly an honor to have her with us today as we celebrate our historic commencement. Please join me in welcoming Dean Archer.
Good morning. When I heard that introduction, which is far too kind and I appreciate it, I thought, wow, I have a lot of jobs. I need to do something about that. But also, now I'm not sure that I can live up to that introduction, but thank you very much. Thank you all for inviting me to join you. It really is an honor to be here with you to celebrate your graduation from UConn Law School. To the soon-to-be graduates, I wish you a hearty and heartfelt congratulations. And to the parents and the kids, the spouses and the partners, the siblings and the friends, the family and the faculty, and everyone else who helped to make this day possible for you, I wish you congratulations as well. I know this is a big year for UConn. I'm not much of a sports fan, but I understand from my sons that you have won some kind of basketball tournament or something. And so I will add to my congratulations, go Huskies. So, commencements always remind me of The Wizard of Oz. In the movie, the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and the Scarecrow come together to help Dorothy defeat the Wicked Witch. But they don't realize how incredibly impressive they are until the wizard makes it official with fanfare, with medals, and with paper. And that's the same thing here. Just like the Scarecrow, you've already proven you have a brain just by getting accepted to UConn Law and making it to this day. Like the Tin Man, you've proven you have a heart through fellowships, externships, through your participation in legal clinics. Some of you have even worked for the ACLU. It's good to see you, ACLU family. You've already begun helping those most in need of justice. Dean Nelson listed many things that you've done, but you've helped to lead efforts to repeal Connecticut's pay-to-stay law. You helped to keep people in their homes after they faced eviction. You fought for asylum for immigrants fleeing gangs in Honduras, violence in Afghanistan, and political persecution in the Congo. And like the Cowardly Lion, you've proven you have courage by choosing a profession that's always been challenging, whose practice often involves high stakes for you and the clients and communities that you serve. We all know that you won't actually be any smarter, braver, or more compassionate an hour from now than you are right now. But as soon as you're handed your diploma by the wizard, and I'm sorry, Dean Nelson, I had to continue with the analogy, you'll be official, and the world will know as well, and so for that, you deserve all the congratulations and celebration that you're getting today. I promise not to take too much of your time this morning. I know that today is a day of celebration. It's Mother's Day, and my mother's waiting for me in Windsor, Connecticut, and I know that I am standing in the way of you getting those diplomas and the well-earned celebrations that are going to follow. But because you are graduates of this great institution, I know that you are aware that out there, just outside the ring of this celebration, lies a more sobering reality. And while I promise not to steal the joy of the day, I want to say a few words about the challenges out there in the world that you are going to leave this space and go help lead. And I feel comfortable doing this because I know that you are concerned with the world. I know that you take your obligations as members of our local, national, and global communities very seriously. And so I want to speak about how I hope you will move through the world as new lawyers with this responsibility to our local, state, national, and global community. And first, I want to remind you to always remember that you belong. It's actually something that I often have to remind myself. I'm a first-generation American citizen. My parents are from Jamaica, and I'm the first, hey, Jamaicans are always in the house. And I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. My parents came to the United States for the reason that most immigrants come, because they wanted to build a better future for themselves and for the family that they hoped to raise. They settled here in Connecticut and originally moved us into a high-poverty neighborhood in Hartford. And when I was young, seeking a safer neighborhood, better schools, and economic security, they were one of the first Black families to move into our neighborhood in nearby Windsor, Connecticut. And our neighbors in Windsor, Connecticut were not happy to have another Black family in their community. And they took every opportunity they could to let us know that. And I remember that one morning we woke up when I was 9 or 10 years old. We woke up to find that KKK had been spray painted on our house and our car. And I had no idea what those letters meant. But what I do remember is the look of sadness and heartbreak in my parents' face when they had to explain to me and to my brother why our neighbors didn't want us there, why our neighbors felt like we did not belong. I saw how my parents struggled. They struggled to overcome the racism directed at them because of their skin color, the xenophobia directed at them because of their accents, the opportunities denied to them because of their economic class. And I also saw how they never stopped fighting to make the future they dreamed a reality. They made a home for us in that house in Windsor, Connecticut, and they still live in that house to this day. They made a place for us in a space that was telling us that we didn't belong. Their journey is what inspired me to become a civil rights lawyer. I wanted to fight for people like my parents and for everyone who dreams. America is built on an idea, the American dream. My immigrant parents talked a lot about that dream, that uniquely American idea that your birth should not define your destiny. But the truth is that the American dream is just that, a dream. We as a country have a history of espousing great ideals, but sorry actions. And maybe the only thing more American than the American dream is our refusal to honor it. The American dream says that it doesn't matter where you're from, who your parents are, what color your skin is, who you love, or how much money you have. If you work hard, then there's no opportunity that is off limits to you. Nothing is out of reach. But we know that has never been true. It has always mattered where you are from. It has always mattered what color your skin is or how much money you have. It has always mattered who you love and how you worship. That is the American reality. And in so many ways, big and small, the history of America has been the story of the American dream edging ever closer to the reality, edging ever closer to the American dream, year after year, decade after decade, and generation after generation. And I think that's what Langston Hughes meant in his famous poem, "Let America Be America Again." Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, Indians, Negro, me. I believe that he meant that although America has not kept its promise, one day America would truly be the land of opportunity promised to us all. This gap between the American dream and the American reality, of course, is not just an abstraction. It's tactile. We feel it in the neighborhoods where we live, the schools our children attend. We feel it across this beautiful state of Connecticut, a wealthy state that is also intensely segregated by race and class. And in this way, Connecticut is a microcosm of a larger American society. Racial segregation divides Connecticut between communities of opportunity and communities excluded from opportunity. Communities where families are part of the American dream, and communities where that dream is perpetually denied. That's what my parents felt when they moved to Windsor, that border between the American dream and the American reality, that feeling that you belong in one America, but are trespassing in the other. Perhaps some of you hear something in my story, something that is similar to your own. If so, I want you to know that you belong here. Know that as you begin your careers, there is no place that is beyond you. So show up each and every day and act like you belong, because you do. And perhaps others of you don't recognize yourself in that story at all. Perhaps you are blessed to feel at home in the elite spaces that are opening up before you. Well, then I want to encourage you to bring others with you. Be one of the people who welcomes others into the spaces that you are in. Expand opportunity and invite others into that circle of opportunity. Be a part of making the American dream a reality. And I also want to talk to you about stepping up when called to serve. As you heard, almost 3 years ago, I was elected president of the ACLU, one of the nation's oldest and largest civil rights and civil liberties organization. And I'm incredibly proud to be the first person of color to lead this organization in its 103-year history. It's a role that comes with an incredible amount of responsibility. But my most important role is to be mother to 2 young Black men. One is in college and one is finishing up high school next year. Like most parents, I want my children to have the world. I want them to be happy, to be safe, to be loved. I want the world to think that they are as beautiful and amazing as I do. I want them to believe that every dream they have is possible. And that's why the ACLU exists, to build a better future for my boys and for all of us. It is not enough for me to pray that the world will be kind to my children and to your children. I need to fight for my children and for everyone's child. Stepping up to help lead the ACLU was really not an easy decision. I am fundamentally a private person. I describe myself as an introvert, and this role is really anything but private. But we are living at an inflection point in American history. Our fundamental principles and beliefs and the mechanisms we rely on to protect our democracy and the rule of law are all threatened. We have a window of opportunity to do the work of dismantling inequality and to build the infrastructure of equality, and I had to step through that window. It was my obligation and my responsibility. The work is never easy, but some days and some years it can feel like we are losing more than we are winning, and the losses really do become harder to bear. The problems we face in this world are deep, they are entrenched, and they're complex. But I truly believe that there is one thing that I know for sure. There is no problem in this world, no crisis, no injustice that we cannot solve together. If history tells us anything, it is that the impossible is possible if we come together as a community. There's a saying in the Black community that we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. And I believe that, and I have felt that so many times before. And each and every one of you should feel that powerfully today as we have this incredible group of people that have come together to celebrate you. You are the dreams of those who have fought and led and organized and survived so that this world could become more free, so that I could be in this place and have the opportunity to serve, and so that you could be in that place and have the opportunity to lead. And as we tackle the crises in our world, remember it's not going to be easy. Frederick Douglass said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are men who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters." Today, the fight for freedom takes thunder and lightning. The fight for equality requires the ocean's awful roars. And some days that fight can make you weary. And again, in recent years, there have been a lot of those days. But at the end of the day, it is a blessing to be alive in this moment, to be reaping the benefits of all of those who fought and led and organized and survived before us. But it's also a blessing to be able to serve when your community needs you so much, when you are desperately needed to join the fight. It is a blessing to have the opportunity to work for justice when there is so much vital and important work to do. As you leave UConn and build your lives, you too will be called on to serve. The call may take many forms. For some of you, it will involve careers in public service. It may mean becoming a leader in the private sector. Whatever it is, find the clarity to understand where you can be most effective. Embrace the courage to lead when you're called, and together we can change the world. Congratulations again to each of you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dean Archer, not only for your inspiring remarks this morning, but also for your impactful scholarship and tireless advocacy on behalf of those who have been silenced and marginalized in our society. All of us here today are indebted to you for your dedicated service in the cause of justice and in support of the rule of law. Thank you so much.
We will now begin the awarding of degrees. Will Associate Dean Jessica Rubin come forward to the other podium? And will the Hooding Marshals, Professor Julia Simon Kerr and Professor Peter Siegelman, please come stand to her left? Will Dean Nelson and Vice Provost Kersant please stand to my left?
Will the candidate for the degree of Doctor of the Science of Law, Angelina Reif, please come forward?
We will now award the Master of Laws degrees. As a reminder, members of the audience are requested to remain in their seats so that candidates are able to move freely in the aisles. Professional photos and video are being taken of all our graduates. We ask that you please hold your applause, at least your most robust applause, until all of the candidates for the Master of Laws degree have received their diplomas from Dean Nelson and Vice Provost Kersant. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws please come forward as directed by the floor marshals?
Luann Reich Cooley. Daehoon Mangus An from South Korea. Alejandro Partis. Madara Melnika from Latvia. Natalia Bortoluzzi Balzan from Brazil. Kofi Anoki. Woo Young Choi from South Korea. Sue Kang from South Korea. Samiksha Shalagain from Nepal. Kirill Gorlov. Kira Koch from Germany. Jasmine Lutz from Germany. Tushar Ahuja. Michael Allen Kussel. Alexiu Emmerman. Sivakon Kauchun from Thailand. Jose Lamas from Puerto Rico. Bhargavi Ramesh from India. Catherine Zurich. Clara Sophie Krause from Germany. Ching Lin from Taiwan. Angelo Aguilar Bresegno from Peru. Sarah Mushabab Al-Qatani from Saudi Arabia. Marcos Bakit from Egypt. Hannah Jasmine Bauer from Germany. Carlos Busquivici from Brazil. Mariami Sasiva. Ikachiku P. Ubaikir. Sahar Fala from Iran. Sabina Einritz from Germany. Yana Karawanikova from Germany. Kate Mitchell from Ireland. George Moskov. Amar Rai from the United Kingdom. Zain Sarmad from the United Kingdom. Eduarda Samuel Vasquez from Brazil. Paula Schrager from Germany. And Jessica Sousa from Brazil.
We will now award the Juris Doctor degrees. Again, we ask that you please hold your sustained applause until all the candidates for the Juris Doctor degree have received their diplomas. Will the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor please come forward as directed by the floor marshals?
Richard Plowden Metzroth. Jeffrey Harrigan. Lily Christina Muzzarelli. Mumina Igal. Seraphin Tala. Jason Alaska. Giovanni Fernando Aragon. Jacqueline Bashar. Ashley Bassnight. Edward Batash. Allison Lee Bennett. Emma Beeman. Michelle Lavoy Bayer. Prabhasha Bandari. Caitlin Volosky. Karen Blonstein. Elena Boucher. Thomas Leland Shanahan Bransfield. James Motes. Riley Brickell. Emiko Willa Berger. Olivia Ray Burley. Adam Christopher Burns, being hooded by his cousin Vincent Faracello of the class of 2006. Krista Nicole Calabretta. Brian Anthony Camilleri, being hooded by his mother, Mary Ann Camilleri, from the class of 1986. Judith Chacoin. Constance Chen. Sarah J. Coates. Emily Frances Collins. Alora Connolly Pelletier. Holly Jean Critchley. Kelly Claire Crowley. Jada Cruz. Laura David Agudelo. Stephen Della Justina. Safrana Denny. Grace Denny. Molly DeRoche. Cassandra Devani. Maylind Palmieri DeWitt. Chantel Mesha Doss. Catherine Elizabeth Doyle. Layla Durick. Lauren Aaliyah. Robert Andresi. Matthew Epstein. Danielle Erickson. Anna Calliope Everett, being hooded by her parents, Lucy Potter and Timothy Everett, both from the class of 1984. Stephen Alphonse Falsigno. Brianna Fernald. John James Flood. Pericles Fakidis. Sarah Elizabeth Freeman. Charles Joseph Gaglione. Samuel Michael Gagnon. Morgan Alexis Goldstein. Robert Granoff. Marissa Elizabeth Gilmain. Garrison Charles Hart, being hooded by his cousin, Anthony Sasso of the class of 2012. Zoe Hurd. Jeffrey Michael Higgins. Ryad Hossein. Aaron Matthew Katz. Will Kempfer. Stephen Kennedy. Magdalena Maya Klin. Zachary Krantz. Rachel Kupek. Alexandra Lansbury. Hannah Lauer. Jack Laser. Emily Patricia Lean. Carly Aaliyah Lefkin. Li Zhang Heme. Jared Joseph Lincoln. Enrique Lopez Ramirez. Julie Ann Ludwig. Christopher David Mannion. Gina Air Maresco Mann. Miles Matul. Megan McDermott. Brianna Lauren McKenzie. Riley Meacham. Sarah Melanson, being hooded by her aunt, Andrea Melanson, from the class of 1992. Jennifer Messina. Joseph Messina. Andrew Mayano. Joseph Miller. Luke Michael Miller. Krista Minetti. Zachary Miraz. Kara Moody. Alexis Morales Freza. Kevin Musco. Emily Ruth Mizuka. Ashley Negrini. Forrest Noir. Rebecca Zoe Ostreicher. Stephanie Orn. Gwendolyn Pastor. Jenna Pepe. Kenny Peralta. Nathaniel Picarelli Combert. Samantha Pinio. Bianca Pohalis. Livio Poletti. Allison Post. Sam Prevost. Julian Quinones. Julia Marlon Ramirez. Marisol Ramirez Ugarte. Ashley Repar. Curtis Rue. Erin Elizabeth Richard. Gabriela Stephanie Rios. Santana Rocha. Zoe Russell. Robert William Sirocco. Emily Clark Space. Michael Schober, being hooded by his father, George Schober, of the class of 1994. Benjamin Sadrowski. Sonia Sadecki. Bryce Simmons. Pooja Kiran Singh. Kayla Cinco. Carl Joseph Skates. Kriskin Skrzewski. Austin Smith. Leah Jane Smith. Danielle Sturgeon. Julia Rose Suser. Dongshuan Jessica Tang. Juliet Grace Taylor, being hooded by her father, the Honorable Mark Taylor of the class of 1983. Elizabeth Tress. Melissa Tukusik. Sebastian Ullman. Nicole Van Leer. Felipe Villon. Mary Blummiss. Surin Huang. Christopher Wisbicki. Julia Groff Wilson. Matthew Ryan Wilson. Emma Wormer, being hooded by her mother, Kate Bertini, of the class of 1990. Nicole Zatsarkovny. Samuel Reed Zuckerman.
Okay, as long as somebody did. It is a pleasure to announce that the following Juris Doctor candidates have participated in a dual degree program. Marissa Elizabeth Gilmain, Julie Ann Ludwig, Kristen Marie Perry, Nathaniel Piccarelli Combert, Santana Natalia Rocha, Leah Jane Smith, and Elizabeth Rachel Tress. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Laws and the degree of Juris Doctor please rise? Dean Nelson and Law Marshal Rubin will now present the candidates.
Dean Nelson, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the rank of Master of Laws who have successfully completed the curriculum at the School of Law.
To you, who have made significant progress in learning and giving promise of future and further achievement, I declare that you are entitled to the ancient rank of Master with all the appropriate rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Dean Nelson, I have the honor to present to you these candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor who have successfully completed the curriculum at the School of Law.
To you, who have made significant progress in the study of law and give promise of achievement in the profession of law, I declare that you shall be entitled, in accordance with the procedures of the university, to the degree of Juris Doctor with all the appropriate rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
I invite Vice Provost Crescent to the podium to confer the degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the University of Connecticut, and in accordance with the procedures and regulations of the university, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Laws or Juris Doctor for which you have been presented at this commencement of the School of Law. To those who have today been presented for degrees, I extend the congratulations of the faculty, trustees, and the officers of the administration. I ask you to discharge the responsibilities of your new status and to enlarge upon the foundation of knowledge which you have acquired. Congratulations. Graduates, please be seated.
It is now my honor to present the Perry Zirkle 1976 Distinguished Teaching Award. Thanks to Mr. Zirkle's generosity, this is the 8th year we have given an endowed award for a transformational teacher of law. You, our graduating students, voted to identify the teacher who enables you to master complex ideas, inspires and makes the classroom come alive, engages with all students and is prepared and organized, and is a nationally recognized scholar or leader in law reform. Voting from a slate of 4 outstanding teachers, You selected Leslie C. Levin, Hugh McGill, Professor of Law, as this year's recipient of the Perry Circle 1976 Distinguished Teaching Award. Congratulations, Professor Levin.
Ching Yu Lin of the class of 2023 will deliver remarks on behalf of the Master of Laws graduates.
Dear faculty members, graduate students, family, and friends, my name is Ching Yu-Ling, and I come from Taiwan. As an LM student in insurance law, I'm deeply honored to represent our group of LM students today. When we began our journey here at UConn School of Law, Dean Nelson mentioned that we had the most diverse group of students in the school's history, and I feel incredibly grateful to have been a part of it. Our LM friends come from Brazil, Germany, Ghana, India, Iran, Ireland, Latvia, Nepal, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States. First of all, I want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. Today marks one of the most important days of our lives, and we couldn't have made it here without the support and encouragement of our loved ones. As I stand here today, I'm feeling a whirlwind of emotions. On the one hand, I'm excited to take the skills and knowledge I've gained here and apply them to my future career. On the other hand, the thought of leaving behind the comfort and familiarity of being a student is a little daunting. I remember when I first made the decision to pursue my LLM in the United States in 2020, it seemed like an impossible dream at the time, but the prospect of studying at UConn School of Law was too good to pass off. It motivated me to pass the bar exam in Taiwan and to complete my master's thesis. Looking back now, I'm grateful for the challenges that I faced along the way because they helped me grow and become a stronger person. A year ago, I wasn't even sure that if I should give up the $500 deposit at UConn School of Law, but now I'm so glad I didn't. The experience of studying here and meeting all the wonderful people has been truly life-changing. I've had the opportunity to have brilliant professors who are dedicated to helping international students succeed. I've made friends from all over the world who have inspired and support me every step of the way. Even during the most challenging moments of our second semester, they never lost faith in me or in each other. They show me what true kindness and resilience look like, and I'm forever grateful. As we move forward into the next phase of our lives, it's natural to feel uncertain and also maybe a little bit scared, but I urge you not to forget the challenges that you've already overcome to get here. Each and every one of us has faced obstacles that seem insurmountable at the time, but we managed to overcome them. Remember that you are capable of achieving great things even when it seems impossible. To all of my fellow graduate classmates, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. May your dreams take you to amazing places, and may you continue to grow and learn every step of the way. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
James Motes of the class of 2023 will deliver remarks on behalf of the Juris Doctor graduates in the evening division.
Friends and colleagues, families and well-wishers, thank you for joining us this morning. Before I begin in earnest, I would like to wish all of the mothers in attendance a very happy, very blessed Mother's Day. From a grateful son and husband who would not be here without the support, love, and occasionally necessary humbling, thank you to all of the mothers for everything you do and everything you are. My own mother, Rita, is here, and she has been my hero and my model for more than 40 years. My wife, Brittany, is my rock, and without her support and encouragement, I'd quite literally not be here. You see, she drives the family van, and this morning she decided to drive here, and I'm grateful for that. Happy Mother's Day to you both. I'm very sorry that I stole your spotlight for a few minutes, but you both know that's what I do. So my name is Jim Motes, and I represent the evening graduating students, and I've been a student for just about ever. My dear friends, you've been in school for more than 21 years, from kindergarten through JD or Masters of Law. Some of you have proceeded straight through without pausing, and others have taken twists and turns to the military, professional careers, families, and other adventures. It feels good to reach what you might consider the end of your educational journey, and you have every cause to celebrate it. But your education isn't finished. In truth, life is about learning. Life is about marching forward in progress or being sucked backwards into stagnation. Every attorney, every legal professional, every professor I've spoken to in this matter has said that we cannot remain the same lawyers that exist in our society today. We must be more. We must do more. We must build on the past, and we must believe and act and create more for the future. Don't get me wrong, our predecessors have created a brilliant, if overly complicated, system. But it falls to us to bring that system forward. And if we stay unmoved and unchanged, then our system will stagnate. Instead, we must embrace a theory and practice of lifelong education. I've been a teacher and educator for 23 years. One thing I did with my students was to enact a practice that I called Motes' Law. This means that whenever we're about to talk about something that's sensitive and shouldn't leave the room, we say Motes' Law. Literally what I say to them is Motes' Law means don't get me fired. But what my students probably don't realize is that Motes' Law isn't for their benefit. It's for mine. Motes' Law reminds me that sensitive topics needed to be treated just that way, sensitively. No significant topic is wholly inappropriate if taken seriously, compassionately, and with the proper judgment and decorum. Education and understanding should be shared, not subjected to gatekeeping. And we have a sacred duty to make future generations safer, smarter, kinder, and better prepared for success. In today's world, we shouldn't flee from difficult conversations, such as those about diversity and inclusion, but embrace them openly, honestly, genuinely, and sincerely. We need to recognize our privilege, and we need to recognize the lens it creates in our everyday perspectives. But we also need to let other people own their own lenses and not shatter them or distort them. If their lenses are blinders, then no amount of arguing will remove them. We need to take care of our own lenses and gently provide others with the opportunity to recognize the cloudiness of their own. In closing, with particular thanks to my father, Chuck Motes, and to Professor Audrey Chapman from the School of Public Health, I'd like to share a quote from the Roman statesman Marcus Tullius Cicero, who wrote in his treatise De Legibus about laws. Salus populi suprema lex esto. The welfare of the people is the highest law. Remember that no matter who your clients or your employers are, we have a principal duty to the law itself and to those who are governed by the law. Thank you all. Congratulations to my friends and colleagues. And remember to always do good and to do good well.
Seraphin of the class of 2023 will deliver remarks on behalf of the Juris Doctor graduates in the day division.
Thank you, Dean Cho. Smile. About a week before we started 1L classes, I prayed, hoped, wished that the next 3 years would go by fast. The anticipation for what everyone kept saying would be a difficult 3 years was just too much, and I wanted it to fly by. And I'm religious, so thus I prayed. And thus, it did flew by, and now I kind of regret that. Be careful what you wish for. As mentioned, we started our law school journey together as mere strangers, staring at each other through boxes on a computer screen in our 1L classes. Some of us might have experienced anxiety, others fear. I know I felt confusion. I think some days, a lot of us felt a pretty depressing combination of all three. There's just something about reading contracts, cases, and what was once the comfort of our homes that just made the whole experience feel a little inescapable. For example, in torts, once you start reading Paul's graph on your couch, you know there's just no real turning back. And we didn't turn back. We were locked in, and locked in we stayed. Whether through more online WebEx breakout rooms or meeting in person through social distancing and eventually in person, we somehow made friends with these boxes on our screens. And those who were once strangers became lifelong friends. Others mentors, and sometimes even more. Shared trauma, after all, is one heck of a bonder. In 3 years, there's quite a bit of trauma. For some of us, because of who we are or the identities that we hold, we were additionally forced to envision ourselves in a legal field that many times does not want to envision us. Still, however, we persevered. We read that confusingly worded opinion, cited that slightly problematic dissent, or in sometimes dissents and concurrences, and made that kind of cringy argument because it is important to see both sides sometimes, or at least we were told. We did all these things because we told ourselves that no matter the struggle we faced, we would continue. There was something about law school that we valued, whether it was helping one person, helping society, or simply pursuing a curiosity that we had in the law. Somewhere along the way, we found the inner strength to keep going. And so we did. And now we're here. And now we're lawyers. As we start our legal careers, I hope we measure our progress, measure our placement, not with the increasingly irrational rising standards of productivity, but rather with how we move towards those goals, those values, those interests that we have no matter what. And if you think you aren't where you should be, take a breath and reflect on your values and move from there. The beauty about the law is that there is a legal corollary for literally everything. You like food? Food law. You interested in money? Business law. You don't want to litigate? Transactional contracts. And if you want to take a break from the law, then do it. The JD is still going to look quite nice on our resumes. Our options are endless and are only limited to how creative we can get with exploring how we value ourselves and how we have our values. No matter what we decide to do, the JD title will always be attached, and it has quite a nice ring to it. I'd like to thank my wonderful family, Mama, Papa, Alex, and Tony, for everything. Y'all are the best. I'd like to thank my friends I've made here. Y'all know who you are. I love y'all deeply. And again, of course, happy Mother's Day. And lastly, to my wonderfully talented class, I hope we hold these values close to our chest more than any job description. We hold our loved ones and our support system closer than any possible promotion. And although easier said than done, I hope that we leave here loving ourselves more than we ever love our careers. Thank you.
Thank you, graduates, for those excellent and inspiring remarks. It is now my pleasure to introduce Linda Morgan, a member of the class of 1987 and the president of the University of Connecticut Law School Alumni Association. Attorney Morgan is among the nation's top appellate attorneys. She serves as chair of the appellate practice group at Robinson & Cole and has been involved in more than 200 appeals before the Supreme Courts, U.S. Circuit Courts, and the U.S. Supreme Court. She has also generously shared her expertise with our students as an adjunct professor. The UConn School of Law is grateful for her service, and I'm very pleased to welcome her today. Attorney Morgan.
I wasn't expecting that. On behalf of the University of Connecticut School of Law Alumni Association, let me be the first to welcome you to our merry little band. Yes, you are already a member. It's involuntary. As soon as you're a graduate, you're in the club. The good thing is there's no membership fee or test or anything. So, welcome. Hasn't it been a wonderful morning? We got to parade in the sunshine, and then there were honors and accolades and empty diploma holders. It's coming, it's in the mail, don't worry. We've been enlightened and inspired by our speakers, both the keynote by Professor Archer and the students themselves. Just wonderful. And then there's me, closing the show, batting cleanup, and you are likely thinking, who's this now? She's just a lawyer? And yeah, they dressed me up with silly hat and all, but yeah, I'm just a lawyer, like you. In fact, I was you, sitting in an uncomfortable plastic chair on this beautiful campus under a tent 36 years ago. Boggles my mind. No. Believe me, take my word for it, it has been a ride. And now you're about to embark on that ride. So welcome, class of 2023 law grads. The world awaits you. The world needs you. It needs your unique point of view. It needs your insights. Most importantly, your passion, those new talents you have, enthusiasm for the law. Please just share that with the world. Find your lane, the thing that makes you happy, that you were meant to do. I know I did, and it changed my world. Did I change the world? Remains to be seen. I'm still working on it. But anyway, this isn't about me, this is about you. Revel in this achievement of yours. Celebrate yourselves today and your mothers. That's a sponsored message by Moms International. But as you commence on your new careers, isn't it funny that commencement and graduation are kind of put together? But graduating is ending something, and this is a commencement. We are letting you all loose out on the world. You are commencing this new endeavor. But while you're out there, don't forget about us back at your alma mater. The Alumni Association is here to help you. So use us, use our knowledge, use our skill sets, use our network. Now, one of the benefits of graduating from a law school in a state the size of a postage stamp is that it's a very tightly knit community. And not just in Connecticut, New York, New England, but across the country. And now, as you've all heard, across the globe, there's a network of proud UConn Law graduates, and we can help you be in touch with them and enjoy that camaraderie. Easy to get in touch with either myself or any member of the Alumni Association Board of Directors on the law school website. So please reach out. In closing, I want to extend an invitation to everyone to join us for some refreshments over in front of Chase Hall. We would like to lift a glass in honor of today's graduates. And now here's my quote for the day, which is, Carpe diem. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, Attorney Morgan, for your leadership of the Alumni Association and for your support of our graduates in the law school. We all so greatly appreciate it. Graduates, it is evident that you care very deeply about your beloved law school, and I hope that continues now that you have transitioned from being students to being alumni. Please stay involved and help support other students as they pursue their law degrees, just as others have helped you pursue yours. You all are an important part of the UConn Law legacy, and all of us are incredibly proud of you. We wish you much success and happiness throughout your careers. Congratulations, graduates.
The ceremony will conclude with the recessional of the platform party, the faculty, administrators, and law school graduates. Will members of the audience please remain in their seats until all graduates have recessed and the musicians have finished playing? And as Attorney Morgan mentioned, will the graduates please join members of the University of Connecticut Law School Alumni Association for a toast in front of Cheryl Chase Hall. Thank you for joining us in this celebration. Please join me in thanking Deb King, our events and program manager, who organized this beautiful and complex commencement, and to all the staff who assisted her, particularly members of the facilities and communication staff. On behalf of the staff, faculty, trustees, and administration of the University of Connecticut and the School of Law, we offer all our graduating students our warmest congratulations. We wish you success on the bar exam, as well as a lifetime of learning, fulfillment, and success in the law, or out of it, wherever your path takes you. And we wish you and all of your families and friends gathered here today to celebrate your achievement a wonderful afternoon.